Do you think Brittney Griner should be released?
On Thursday, WNBA All-Star Brittney Griner pleaded guilty in a Russian court to drug charges nearly 5 months after she was arrested at an airport in Moscow.
This Sunday morning, Brittney Griner is spending her 144th day in a Russian jail. In a dramatic turn, the star center of the Phoenix Mercury pleaded guilty to drug smuggling, a charge that carries a maximum sentence of 10 years, saying she accidentally left vape cartridges containing cannabis oil in her luggage. Fellow athletes are keeping up the pressure for Griner and others.
I hope you'll join us in
So
making
that
sure
was
President
all those
Biden
signs were at
knows
the
how much we appreciate his work to
WNBA
get her
All-Star
and
game.
all other Americans.
The Kremlin appears to be driving a hard bargain. State media calling for the return of a notorious Russian arms dealer, Viktor Bout, serving a 25-year sentence in the U.S. Former U.S. Ambassador to Russia Michael McFaul helped the Obama White House negotiate a swap involving Russian spies caught in the U.S.
If you put it in morality terms or what's right, you'll never get a deal. I think you just have to make a decision. Is that swap in the interests of these Americans? That's the question that the Biden administration has to tackle.
And you think they should do it?
This is a big criminal, Viktor Bout. We should get all of these Americans out in return for releasing him to the Russians.
I mean, it sounded like he was saying, hey, we kind of have this moral dilemma of where we can either give up this arms dealer for a basketball player. So it's kind of like this moral dilemma of where, you know, we might sit here and be on our, I guess you could say, our high horse, or we might have the moral high ground, I guess, and say, you know, that's not a fair trade. You know, you're dealing guns and she's dealing basketball and has a little bit of THC. Like, his argument is that we're not going to get anywhere having that mindset. Like, they're just not going to deal with us.
There's no good way to come out of this.
Yeah.
What you're hoping for is just she gets back home.
Right.
Do you think Brittney Griner should be released?
Yeah, probably. I mean, I think, morally, she should probably be released. Probably should have been more careful. But, I mean, what are we doing this over? Like a 0.1 grams of THC? Like, that's it? 6 years in prison? You could argue, hey, she should have been more careful. And, yeah, she probably should have been, especially when you're going to a hostile country like Russia. But, you know, is it right? If I go down a dark alley at night and I get mugged, you could say, Joe, you should have been more careful. But I still shouldn't have been mugged.
Are there legitimate purposes for putting cannabis oil into vape cartridges?
Basically to get high.
Well,
not that I know of.
How do you feel about medical marijuana?
I'm fine. Legalize it.
Yeah.
Legalize all of it, not just medical. I
think, yeah, maybe. I don't know. I'm fine with the medical, at least. I think I would try it, like, if I thought it would help me.
Yeah. You don't even have to smoke it. You can eat a brownie or eat a gummy bear. It probably has some kind of addictive element, even though people like to pretend that it does not. You just got to try to educate the masses as much as you can. I mean, I don't think it's worth sending people to prison for years and years for whatever amount of marijuana they might be carrying at the time.
Former NBA player Dennis Rodman plans to visit Russia in the name of diplomacy. Now, Rodman says he wants to try to get jailed WNBA player Brittney Griner.
What? Why did they use that picture?
I know.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
He looks like a nut.
They just caught him opening his mouth, basically.
The part that's bugging me the most about this picture is that he has sunglasses on when it's dark.
Yeah.
All he really needs to go to Russia is a visa from the Russian government. Typically, that takes less than 2 weeks to get. He said that he has gotten permission to do that. He doesn't need permission from the United States government to go. And in fact, senior administration officials here would prefer that he didn't.
But the State Department did put out a statement saying that they did not want Dennis Rodman to go to Russia. and that they thought it would hinder their efforts to get these people back home.
Yeah,
so
probably.
As of right now, he is not. Now, what makes this interesting is that Rodman has been a friend of Kim Jong-un. And he has been very involved with, well, he's wanted to be very involved with the U.S. having peace talks with North Korea. And so he, for a time, was going over to North Korea all the time and spending time with Kim Jong-un.
Okay.
So what do you think, Joey? Should Dennis Rodman go to Russia and try to help?
And there's a couple weird things, like if you're friends with a dictator who
Yeah, and it's
oppresses his people, like I'm just gonna question your character right there. Then again, I don't really know. I'm just hearing about it now.
Mm-hmm. It's tough to know. So Dennis Rodman was always a really wild person.
Yeah.
So he had like a fling with Madonna at one point. And like during the playoffs, he would get permission from the coach. I don't think this was frequent, but he would go to Las Vegas and just party for a day or two in between games.
Okay.
And at one point, Michael Jordan ends up going down to Las Vegas to try and find him and bring him back. I think he's probably really genuine. Or as far as I can tell, but that's my opinion, of course.
If he goes over there and negotiations fail, people are going to blame him. If they succeed, they're going to blame him again and give him credit. So, I mean, hindsight is 20/20.
Yeah.
Have you followed like what the social media response has been for this?
I have not. I have stayed well away from social media on this.
That's probably smart.
And on everything, of course.
Dude, you gotta delete it off. Delete it off your phones. Every now and then I get on my computer when I want to look something up on social media. That's all I do. It's not on any of my phones.
Yeah.
So it's so much better.
We're too good for it. That's right.
Yeah.
Joey agrees with me.
We're the master race. We're the alphas.
Anyway, I guess kind of in conclusion, like I find this whole thing like really, really sad. I hope she gets released as well.
We're in a point of time where Russia is looking for examples. They're looking for people that they can make examples out of them.
It could be.
Yeah. I mean, they're pissed off at Europe for not buying their oil through that pipeline now. They're pissed off at everyone's response over Ukraine. I wouldn't even travel there. Why were they traveling there?
She plays basketball over there. So a lot of like low-level NBA players and a lot of like the WNBA players will play in European leagues.
Okay.
In the off season. So it really was not bizarre that she was going over there.
Yeah.
Now, yeah, I mean, you could say, okay, well, there's a war going on. Yeah, don't go over there. But
oh yeah, the war.
She's going over there to work, basically.
What do you think should be done about Brittney Griner, Phil? Like, do you think we should just trade? What was it, Victor? Try to get a couple Americans, because I mean, we know of 2 Americans that are over there. I guarantee there's more.
I'm kind of pretty okay with sending criminals back to their home country.
Yeah, let's do it.
I kind of think if you can get them to do that, now he's their problem.
Yeah. I mean,
that's a very cold thing to say, and yeah, I suppose I might take it back. If I saw he was hurting people or something, but I don't know.
Mean,
It's almost it almost just comes down to whose problem is it, and I don't think it's ours.
Yeah, send them over, put them on a no-fly list, and kick them out.
Yeah,
I'm fine with that. I'm fine with not paying taxes to the correctional facility that has to house them.
Yeah, I probably am as well.
Guys, let us know what you think. Should we send Victor back? Should we try to play hardball? Let us know in the comments.
Yeah, and tell us how many vape cartridges of cannabis oil you currently have on you.
One like equals one vape cartridge. Put the number of vape cartridges in the comments, and then call your local police department.
Yeah, to lock it in.
Yeah, and we'll send you a prize, maybe.
Yeah.
Probably not.